Alright. Sounding good, sounding good, sounding good, good. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Good. Copy. That's fine. Devin, you're so fine, you blow my mind with Devin. Oh. If Devin would ever come on with his bad self. This. I think that's the right button. Is it this? It's that. Nope. There's a button. Where's the button? Button. Where's the button? That's it, maybe? Yeah, there it is. Button. Oh, looks like we're gonna be late if Devin doesn't get his shit together. Oh, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Maybe. Calm the fuck down. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Oh, look, I thought you were out of town. Or do you leave tomorrow? It's because you have something white open. Remember? Minimize. We discussed this. You're just janky ass. Webcam settings. Your screen's maybe too bright. There. Oh, whatever you had, it was for like a split second. Oh no. Oh, that fixed it. Leave it alone. Oh. There's a short. No, there's a short in the webcam. Uh-oh. Well, you can't do that the whole episode. I mean, I guess you could, but... Wait, hold on. Yeah, it's like a lighting thing. There you go. That fixed it. Yeah, man. No big deal. Oh. I'm still setting up a little bit of stuff. Really, I mean, we should be starting like any second, but man, I gotta turn off my I gotta turn off my Discord because Mike's messaging me and it like keeps making noise, and that's gonna get annoying for anybody listening. Oh. A little yeah, just me beatboxing. I don't think that's a good idea. And suddenly we have suddenly episode 12 has 0 listens. Like, just nobody comes back. Yeah. So are you in the negative? You were in the negative downloads. What's still making noise? How are things still making noise? I've got oh, it didn't actually close. Don't you dare. Oh, Mike's listening. Sorry, Mike. I have to just... You can use the YouTube chat, buddy. I apologize, but that thing keeps making noise. Oh, alright. So I need to screen cap, get you into the game, and then we can get rolling. Yeah, check that out. What up? Now we just need them to participate in the chat. Okay. Yeah, I've got it up on the right hand side. Okay. Okay, you just perfectly. Don't move a muscle. Don't blink, and neither will your webcam. Yeah. Dude, you realize you have like a super budget laptop? Like, I mean, that is exactly what happens. Forget it. Yeah. Isn't that the truth? Is there a way I can pop this chat out? Nope. Maybe that's the button. I mean, yeah. I got pre-show on the banner. Like, I've got it up there that this is the pre-show as we get set up. Okay. Let me go hit this. Oh, man. Oh, okay, never mind. We'll do that for the show. That's actually good. I think this is the button that makes me hear you. Yep, it is. Okay. Yeah, okay, it is. Okay, so... Let's do this. What do you say we start the show, Devin? Does that sound good? Okay. Alright. Mute Devin and play the intro. Uh-oh. Didn't do it. Let's try again. Awkward.
Hi, I'm Devin and I'm the pastor.
Hi, I'm Dwayne and I'm the Atheist. And you're listening to the Pastor and Atheist Show. What up, dude? Episode 11. That's once they go there, they'll click on the live stream and it's right in their face. And if you're listening to this pre-recorded, that just tells you next week at 0900 CST you should be in the YouTube and in the chat system. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what that is. I'm not doing that. No way. Huh? Here in my bedroom, it's missionary. Dude, what's up? How was your week? Hmm. That sucks. And so you were like one of these shooters, or the folding of the flag? Gotcha. Yeah, I had a buddy get cremated, and so I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I actually had a buddy pass a couple years ago, and they did the 21 gun salute, and like most of the men knew it was coming, and so we're all like there. But all the women, I swear, dude, you're looking down, but you see bodies leap when that first round goes off, and you're like, dang. That's the last thing they need. They're all bawling their eyes out because a friend goes, and now they're freaking out. Like, still. Yeah. Play it up. Yeah. No, dude, they don't. Yep. He was like, "Do we do automatic?" No, we gotta do it in sequence. You can't just hold down for 7 rounds. All right, have a good day. Like him loading up, like disassembling weapons. Like, let's go, boys. Bars are waiting. Yeah. I will say, us doing this podcast has increased our communication level, because we used to we would talk every few days, but we would text more. Now we text pretty much daily, like what it's show related, or it's like, this is fucking hilarious, we should bring this up, or I mean, it's now become almost like a daily conversation. So. Yeah. It's unfair. That's mean. I'm gonna send things to you, like gifts, and then just be like, you have to show this to her now, just to get some vengeance for that. Oh, it's funny. and for the Army haters out there, Devin is the head of his unit. Just so I'll leave that there. No, he's the head of the unit. Squad, platoon, organization, gang. I mean, like, I think that's better. Boys, put on your dress blues. Me and the gang, we're going to the military funeral. Like, it's better. Yeah, see? That's so much better. Fucking chinos. That's awesome. My week's pretty chill. Tuesday I worked. Okay, so my busyness all revolves around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That was my busyness. So Monday I worked, which was fine. But Monday night, The Division has come out, or came out, whatever, how you want to say that. And that's basically The Division. Tom Clancy's The Division. So basically, okay, all right. First of all, it's a like a MMORPG shooter placed in this universe where like a virus was spread on a Black Friday, and now like so many people are dead, and now you've got factions rising up in Manhattan, like trying to take over the city because it's fucking chaos, and you're part of the Division, and you're like a secret agent essentially, and you're coming back in, and it's if you like RPGs and you like shooters, this is a really good mix of Gears of War and Call of Duty with an RPG mix. Everything. Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So, I of course got it for the PC, and it came out at 11 p.m. my time, and I was like, sweet, I'm going to get to play for just a little bit, but I have a really long day Tuesday. So I get in, and of course it doesn't work in the first 20 minutes, which is normal for a launch. But then it comes up, and I get to play for 20 minutes, and then it goes down. And I was like, ugh, all right, so I'll just go to bed. So the next day, I leave my house at 7 a.m. I don't get home until 11 p.m. because I worked from, whatever, 8 to 10:30. Yeah, it was such a fucking long day. But then I come home and play for 20 minutes. So that was just a ridiculously long work day. And then, I'm like, I still gotta play. I gotta play. It's a brand new game. So then I wake up and I go back to this client after last night, or the Tuesday night. It's a huge... I replaced 12 switches. Me and 2 other guys, we replaced 12 switches. Totally revamping their network. And so to come in the next morning and there's almost no problems, and I'm like, yes, that's baller. Now I just want to go home and play my video game. Like, that's what I want to do. So that, and I had a meeting that I had to do after work Thursday, and the guy had to rearrange the meeting, and I was like, okay, that's fine with me. But the other party that was supposed to be there with me, I told him, I was like, hey, look, he can't do it. And they were like, why not? I mean, I don't know. He just said he couldn't do it. Well, why? Why is he going to push it off? And you're like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And then, furthermore, my mom asked me about that. And I've got this new thing that I'm doing. Hey, Matt in the chat room says, look at these sexy beasts. So, my mom, furthermore, I've got this new thing that I'm going to do now because of this whole event. When someone asks me a question and I say I don't know, if they ask me the same question, I'm going to make up a response. So, why couldn't he push the meeting? I don't know. Yeah, but why couldn't he push the meeting? Alright, you've pressured me into it. His wife's been cheating on him. And he's going to go meet them. He's going to catch them in the act. He's already got a private... Yeah. How'd you know? So I'm just going to start being fantastic. Because I used to do that when I was a teenager. When my mom would, worrisome mom. She would call me like, hey, where are you at? And, it used to get so frustrating that she could never ask me anymore. Because, hey, where you at? Thank God you called. I'm in a ditch right now. I just called 911. There's cocaine everywhere. And it's, Dwayne, seriously, where you at? I mean, I just explained to you. And so that became a thing. And so she just stopped asking. I mean, I would always let her know where I was going, but she would just like call. You quit it. If I was having sex, this would be a problem for it. Like, but I don't know. I'm a busy guy. I'm a multitasker. No, it's my mom. Like, thanks for calling me. There's cocaine everywhere. That one might be a true story. So, the Division's good. Working sucks. I love my job, but working long hours always sucks. But I'm also streaming The Division when I play. It won't be here. It'll be on twitchtv.com/gamingwithgizmo. Yeah, we'll throw that in notes. I will be streaming right after this show. So as soon as the show's over, I'll probably talk with Devin for a few minutes. But then I'm just going to jump right into The Division, start streaming it and playing it. So I think Matt picked it up, which is good. And so that means me and Matt will play together. But yeah, that was my week, man. Pretty chill. So... Well, I mean, yeah, but hopefully they'll go away. Oh, it's great for business. Like, I'm a busy person. I actually have some work to do tonight, but I can multitask that in. Yeah, it'll wait after the show for sure. That's awesome. Ooh, that's enough for me. Yeah. Yeah, Yeah, I'll just see Devin sitting there going, and just see a chat bubble, and it'll say Silver Beam, like that. But that's all you've got. That's cool, man. What's this first thing you've got going on here in the news? I don't know. Hold on. Matt's saying he can't. Matt's saying he can't hear you. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let's see. I think I can fix that. I'm glad somebody said that. Yeah, hold on. I think I figured out the problem, and that's actually hilarious. No. Nope. Alright. Okay. Alright. Matt, tell me now, buddy.
How about now?
I think... Okay, so... I think I solved this riddle, and I'm glad Matt said something about it. When I have 3 different audio channels. My input, and then 2 outputs.
Okay.
One output is like all my game sounds, all my other things I can do. Yep.
Is it good now? He said it was good now?
Yeah, it's good now. Yeah, and the other one is your voice, and that way when I play things, it doesn't echo. Now, this doesn't affect the podcast. The podcast still gets put out correctly, but the last couple videos may not have your voice, so that might explain some shitty quality.
So like, the whole time it's just Dwayne like fighting himself?
I want to hear that. Like, no, you don't understand.
No.
And then
No,
you
the
just
video
see
do. I've listened to the videos. They're good. They're fine.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
this
so never...
that's weird then. The videos, okay, whatever. We'll do some research on that just to make sure everything's kosher.
All right, let's start back over. Let's start the whole show.
No. So Peyton Manning's good. Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on. Next up.
That's what I had for the Peyton Manning thing. Oh, and so this was a funny thing I heard about because I heard you do this, and I've done this, and everyone has done this at some point. But this guy who wrote this had a great point. Now he's by no means like a Trump supporter, but his whole argument was about comparing people to Hitler, and he was talking about, and I felt like an idiot too after he said it, but he's talking about anytime you compare someone to Hitler, like especially if you're in an argument, you've lost because that is like the lowest common denominator you could do for anything. So yeah, if you want to mock someone or make them look bad, like if you're trying to describe how terrible of a person they are, saying Hitler is like the lowest you can go. But to actually mean that and say this person is Hitler or that person is Hitler is just dumb. And the reason he says that is because he's like, yeah, Trump may be a loudmouth and he's trying to bring a broken country together or whatever it is, like Hitler said he was going to do. But at no time has Trump said, there's a superior race as he set up camps to kill millions of people and done these major atrocities to people. So for someone to use that in a debate, it just means they've already lost. And I was like, oh, okay, something to think about, which I heard on the news. There's people on the news who have been saying that recently. They just jumped and say, Trump's Hitler. They also said that about Obama. They said Obama was Hitler. They were putting Bush, too. They put pictures of Bush next to Hitler. So it's like every president we ever get in, this person is Hitler, and so it makes sense that's dumb to say about someone.
Okay. And now let me counter your point. You said Trump has never said we're a master race. He never said we should do it like the Klans. Yet.
Okay, we see. You're teetering on like this is like saying he's not Hitler yet. That's what you just said.
Yeah, that's true. But all right, this reminds me of something. So you know how we do like that's our thing? Okay. Yeah. So I had actual adult time last weekend and went out and had some drinks with some friends, and I met some rando chick that my buddy's fiance brought. And I guess through the course of the night, like as I was having beer and getting comfortable, I was hitting people with the, is it? Should we? And I don't know. I don't remember using it often, but I guess it was often enough that at the end of the night, somebody like parroted me, and they were like, "That's your thing," and I was like, "Is it?" I didn't know what to say. I was like, "That's such a weird thing." Like, I get this rando has never really seen or been around me, but like Brian and my his fiance have been around me all the time, and that's not something I typically. Maybe that's because we did the podcast, and then the next night it's just in my head.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the third thing we have in, because this is gonna be a tight show.
And this is yours, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, the third thing we have is there's a news article, and it basically says that religion is declining in the United States, and it basically says, according to the study, 68% of Americans aged 65 and over said they had no doubt that God existed, compared to 45% of young adults who said that they have no doubt. Aged 18 to 34, 41% of people 70 and older said they attend church services at least once. So basically, this isn't that big of a deal, but you guys are on a decline. Like, you're on your way out. And if you look, you are. No, you are. And here's why.
See you, God.
No, here's why.
Let me hear this.
If you go over to Europe, from everything that I read, from the studies that you see, it's kind of weird to be religious in any form. The last study I read, which was from 2015, said that it's a 50-50 ratio. It's 50% atheists or non-believers, however you want to ballpark that, and then 50% of all of the religions put together, and that's for the European continents. So, not continents, the European countries. So we're on the way out, brother. Like, if we didn't have the South, the South is the majority of our religious points. Like, the church attendance across the pond is not nearly as high as it is here.
Okay.
And so seeing this study that was done by UCL, UCL and Duke University did this study.
Oh, Dookie.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's just interesting. I wanted to bring that up just so you know, like, It's happening.
So let me tell you, there's a thing in the Bible that's a pattern that happened with people where probably a majority, that's the reason God wiped them out in the first place, is because a lot of them declined in believing in Him. And so,
Wait,
so
hold on.
if
If
what
we
we want
stop
to happen.
believing, we get another Noah's Ark.
Hey, Journey said it. Don't stop believing. Okay, there was I think that's the reason why. And no, we don't get another Noah's Ark. He said he wouldn't flood it. He'll burn us up again. So he said it's gonna burn it up, just light it up. That'd be
Okay.
it.
I just want to point out I could compare God to a toddler. What? What?
I need to write down all
I
your
don't get
comparisons.
my sucker. Fine. I'm gonna poop on everyone. Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, it's not ridiculous because if it's like let's say God's a boss and he says, "Hey, do this job," and you don't do the job, then you're literally fired.
God has never told me to do a job. He sent 30 different managers that either like have raped, killed, or molested, and then he's gonna go.
I need to hear an excuse for that. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, molested, that's Catholic. Done.
Oh,
yeah. I can
those are
tell
men.
you.
Those are men. Like, if you're talking about men are flawed, I mean, you could say, "Hey, he sounds."
I wish
good,
you could see my webcam for how surprised I am that that's your response. Well, those are men. Men are carrying the motherfucking message, man. When's the last time God's talked to you, brother? Like,
yeah, does it line up with the Bible? Like, what are they saying? Like, that's the whole thing. Is like the Bible. Like, it doesn't matter what men say. I mean, if it lines up with the Bible, yeah, that's great. Like, that's what we need to hear.
Okay, but the Bible is all right. I wanted that to be dramatic.
Is that
The Bible. No, that was me sitting down the beer. The Bible is open to the interpretation. I bet you could give me almost anything in 20 minutes with Google, and I'm going to find a passage from the Bible that I can interpret to almost anything.
Yeah, but I wouldn't give you passage. I would give you context surrounding the passage as well.
Okay,
like there is a forum where people, like, you hear about people saying, well, this verse says this, which will automatically make their point valid, you know? But that's not the way it's supposed to be. There's a context surrounding other things.
Okay, look. If the Bible was clear cut, there wouldn't be so many fucking miscommunications.
It's not clear cut. It's not
exactly.
Some things are, but a lot of things are not clear cut. I'll admit that, but it's not. You take the basic things you need to know, like the things that like get you to heaven. That's important things. Like, you're gonna be okay. Like, that's gonna be all right. God gave us what we need to know to be able to make it to heaven.
But my point is that the Bible, written by men,
inspired by God.
TM, copyright, asterisk, whatever.
All of the
Because
above.
no,
Start it.
we have no motherfucking proof that God told any of these motherfuckers to write this book. And furthermore,
it's in there. Look, Tacitus was an atheist guy who wrote about.
Hold on, I'm gonna write you a journal entry, and it's gonna say that you're no longer allowed to eat Snickers, or you're going to hell. And then at the end, I'm gonna go, trust me, God told me.
Yeah, but
it's on the page, Devin. You can't deny it. It's on the page.
But you have centuries of people writing similar things that haven't overlapped, or that have overlapped, and that haven't contradicted one another. Centuries.
Okay. All right, look, we're gonna do this game where I'm gonna Google Bible contradictions one day, and you're gonna fucking lose because it contradicts the shit out of itself.
You got to bring me some solid examples.
I will
Let's
find
do that. A few shows. Let's do that. We'll make that in a
where I come up with like, here's where the Bible's wrong, and I'll give you ahead of time. I'll give you a chance, because otherwise that's just not fair. Like, I expect you to know the Bible front to back. I mean,
I do not
know
front to back.
That kind of makes you a failure. You know, I know my lack of religion front to back. It's real easy.
I know
there is no God.
Listen,
Done.
I got the biggest. I know a lot of mine and all of yours. All right.
Okay, well, you can. Mine's real easy. Hey, invisible guy? Nope, doesn't exist. Done. Done. I'm done with my studying. It's time to go play the PC. Get back to reading your book, buddy.
I understand all of your beliefs already. I'm an expert.
I understand the majority of yours. If we don't like it, we throw the book out and write a new one. Like, what are you talking about?
All right. Wait, have we circled around to that one before we get to our email? Because I know this is going to be a pretty good one to talk about.
Yeah, let's do this email. And I don't think you need to okay. All right, so
Just
hold on. So Matt's wife says that I look like a creeper because I have a black backdrop. Because
windowless vans behind that. He can't even.
no, so like you can't see it, Devin, but instead of having a background, it's just blacked out because I've got a green screen.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a green screen hooked up, and hey, it's a lot better than seeing like a brown wall behind me or a bunch of books, right? Like, and then when Devin walks by, it all falls apart. Like it's just like a giant poster board. Like
or it's a poster on the wall.
Yeah, it's a poster, a giant poster. Yeah.
Think I read books? Heck no.
So, yeah, just read a little bit of this email. I don't want you to read the whole thing because it's a pretty long email, which I'm happy for.
So this guy, his name is Chad. By the way, thank you, Chad. I sent you an email back saying thanks for listening. He's not going to listen tonight. I won't tell you why. Chad says he starts off, my name's Chad and I'm an atheist. And he's referring to episode 4 that we talked about. Can Christians and atheists be in a long-term relationship, like a marriage, engaged, fiancé situation? This guy says he's been married to a Jewish woman from the Jewish Orthodox background. They've been married for 7 years, together for 11. On the topic of being married to a Christian, it has come up that her family has been much more receptive to me as an atheist than if I had been a Christian. He says that. I'm trying to not miss any of the important stuff. Let's see. Basically, he's saying that that's predictable because he says Christians are often hostile and stupid, which is predictable takeaway if they live in a world where in every situation you socially interact with other people because you assume they're also Christians. Anyways. Last 2 paragraphs are probably the meat of this thing. He says, on the topic of dating Christians, I've dated numerous Christians and even have found myself in equally numerous churches and youth group meetings. So I guess he's trying to validate whatever he's about to say next. What I've concluded personally is that I've never been compatible emotionally or intellectually with most, if not all the people in these groups. I really didn't find the girls to be holier than thou or more likely to be blissfully unaware sexually. And on the contrary, it was usually the girl who was more sexually knowledgeable than I was at the time. Those relationships tended to be hot, heavy, and short. They weren't necessarily cut short because of any specific contention of religious ideals or mindsets. It was usually just a mutual lack of interest. Yeah. And this last one's funny to me personally, having been a youth pastor. The teenagers in these groups were almost always sexually active, more so than the kinds of teenage friends I would run around with who weren't in these groups. The youth ministers, almost all of them, had a middle-aged man in a van down by the river field. They wanted to be your friend. They were sometimes attractive, and they would drop quotes like living embodiments of a Dare to Say No advertisement from the 80s and 90s. Another strange observation was how these groups maintained anachronistic mindsets and ideas, like they still mentioned atheist communists or 50s era Red Scare propaganda, the devil in Dungeons and Dragons, rock music is evil, and treated women like their only inherent value is procreation.
Okay, so all right. So let me cut you off because there's more to read. I want your take. Well, I mean, just like you did the whole last paragraph. I want your take on the youth group stuff and the youth pastor stuff because that's the important takeaway. The front of that just gives his background that he's an atheist and he's married to a Jewish chick, and her family would prefer if he was a atheist and a Christian for whatever reason. But that's fine. We can address that too. So let's hear your talk on it. Your thoughts on his.
The last two, and that's what I want to hit, is how he talks about. It's almost like saying, hey, because like these girls in churches are more sexually active than the girls who are not. And I want to say that, first of all, like that comparison, it's almost like a straw man argument. It just doesn't hold up because
correlation is not causation, I think, is the way to look at that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And
the teenagers, they're going to be sexually active.
And the whole point was that I didn't, and we were going to talk about this, so he had listened to this, so it's another way to rope him back in. But I think that to say, hey, Christian girls they're actually more sexually active. Okay, well that, first of all, is a personal conviction. And I was telling Dwayne today, like, kids are kids, and that's going to happen. Like, kids are they're going to have sex. The point for Christians is to have a personal conviction to say, I'm going to wait until I'm married because this is special for me and it's special for the man that I get with or the woman that I get with, and it's between us. I mean, that's the ideal situation for a Christian. but that happens, and kids are kids. And so I think by saying that because you go to church means you are less sexually active, it's just as wrong as saying because you're not in the church you're more sexually active. On both sides of that, there's probably a false sense of belief about that. And for kids to be sexually active that are Christians, who say they're Christians, when that happens, it's when they don't have sex before marriage. That's typically the exception and not the rule, especially with all of the things you see on TV and all the access to the pornography on the internet. I mean, that's just how it is. And so, Chad, I would say to you that because a few people in the church were that way doesn't mean we are all that way or everyone's that way. But I would certainly agree that Christians waiting till marriage is an exception. That just happens because kids are kids, and not the rule. And then as far as the youth pastors go, you're right. I am good looking. You get that right. Most of them pretty good looking. Secondly, what else did you say? Don't have a van. Don't live near a river. That's not true. I think maybe you just didn't like the youth pastor guy that you were with.
Yeah.
We do want to be the kids' friends. I mean, like how else do we like interact? You know, like I can't help but be like cool with these kids and just like, hey, how's your day going? Yeah, I want to be your friend, but I want to be your mentor more than anything. But for a student to be comfortable with me, they have to think or know that I care about their day, their situation, whatever that may be.
All right. So let me stop and let me rebuttal a few of those things because, like I told you over text message, I think your experience varies vastly than every experience I've ever had.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's me. Like, I went and did a shoot for you guys, and so I saw that that's very different. You guys had a totally different atmosphere than I've ever seen in these youth groups, and I've been to plenty. Plenty, like a handful. His point of the girls and youth groups being more sexually active, the only thing I can think of, A, correlation is not causation, and B, when you've always got people saying, don't have sex, having sex is bad, it sparks interest. Immediately sparks interest, especially for teenagers. So that can very well be why he typically finds Christian girls or religious girls more sexually active, because it's the parent thing, like, don't date you, date that boy. Mm-hmm. Well, I love him. And so, boom.
Well, I love him.
Fucking ruined, right?
Yeah.
So, embrace anybody that your daughter dates, whether he's a shitbag or not. And if he's nice, then that's when you hate on him, right? So that covers that, I think. And really, they're teens, so that's very much correlation in his own experiences. I mean, I think most people are sexually active. In a teenage scenario, I ran into a lot of people that were sexually active. So the youth pastor thing, though, that one I enjoyed a lot because all the youth pastors I know did have that, like, hey, I want to be your friend, not your mentor kind of thing.
Not your mentor? They didn't want to be your mentor?
Well, I mean, they do, right? But you never act the way... Okay, and I have one solid fucking example, and I love that Matt's in the chat because he's the fucking guy who introduced me to this guy. I will say this. Devin is attractive, and he does do a good job. He does a good job of getting on their friend level by insulting them, but then coming back up and being a mentor to them. That's what Devin does.
I don't know how it works. It just works.
It's hilarious to watch, that's for sure. Now, the youth pastor I know, and I won't name names, but Matt knows exactly what I'm talking about. This guy, we were supposed to go to this paint or laser quest thing, and they're like, don't worry, he's going to give like a 20-minute sermon, and then we're going to go to the laser quest place. And I was like, all right, yes. It was an hour and a half. Now,
whoa!
To be a sermon, the guy really just talked about having sex and getting drunk and all the things he did as a teen. Yeah, he was like, okay. He was like, no, not okay. Nothing is okay.
Well, did he like reconcile that? I mean, like, did he say, hey, this is how I used to live,
he spent an hour and 15 minutes just bragging, essentially,
like a list, like his list of
he just like basically it would be like me talking about all my sexual conquests and all the drugs that I haven't done it, you know what I'm saying, like just listing off the things that I did wrong, and then here like a 10 or 15 minutes, that was me, don't do that, you shouldn't do that.
An hour and a half, Dwayne? Are you kidding me?
It was, okay, realistically, maybe an hour. But it was really long. It was really long. And I'm like 19 at the time, and I'm looking at these like 14-year-old little girls going,
they're just like,
why are you listening? No, but they're looking at this like mildly attractive early 30s guy telling these stories, and they're like, and I'm like, What? You don't even like know your audience, sir. Know your
No, yeah.
audience.
Like, first of all, that guy probably shouldn't be having that conversation with girls. Like, it should be like another girl. Like, typically that's
yeah.
what we
Oh
do. It's
yeah.
another woman.
Mm-hmm.
And even so, like, parents should know probably that that conversation is going to go down. Or they should
Probably.
definitely know that it's going to happen before it happens. We never,
Yes.
when we were going to talk about that stuff, parents would know. Like, hey, be aware. Like, we're going to do this. The girls are going to talk to the girls, and the guy is going to talk to the guy. If you want to participate, parents, please come. But just be aware. Like, to just
Yeah.
drop that bomb.
I don't know. So I get where he comes from because I do know, and I know that would be my extreme example, but I also know other youth pastors that I'm like, ugh, you really need some more experience in communications between the age gap because you're trying to be too much of a friend and not enough as a mentor. So I wanted to say both of those things. Mainly because I think you had a very blessed experience in your youth.
It was
You had a
amazing,
very-
man. I miss it every day. So, guys, if you're listening, I miss you guys so much.
And so I think that's one thing. Now, I also want to get into this, that Devin responded to the guy. And I actually want to bring this up because this could, like, actually, like, deflated my interest in him.
Can I tell him?
quick
Can I
and
tell him what he
dirty.
said?
Hold on, I'm about to look. I'm doing it. I'm looking up the email right now. Because I was like, I even told Devin,
Chad.
like, nah, I was like, don't respond, you know, like, just leave it for the show.
I
And
just said
so-
thanks. Thanks
so
for.
yeah, Devin just was like, "Hey, perfect, whatever," and then you can catch the show. And the guy says, "I'm not sure you'll always appreciate my input since I'm not as passive or as apologetic as Dwayne seems to be." Right. So
I pictured your head going
well,
like just exploding.
it was funny because I had taken his first email and was like, "Oh, okay, you know what? Guy had a bad experience. I totally get where he's coming from, especially because I'm on his side of the fence. You know, I'm like pro-atheism, right?" And then this motherfucker goes, "I'm not as passive or as apologetic." Now, if you've listened to any episode of this show prior to this episode, you'll know that I'm neither A, passive, or B, apologetic.
You're
Now,
an a-hole like
yeah,
that.
I'm an a-hole. Now, but I'm just not a fucking asshole. Like,
Yeah.
when it comes around to it, I'm facetious. I'm going to make fun of your stuff because I think it's funny. I don't actually, like, look at Devin and go, "You're a fucking menace to society." Because that doesn't do anything, right? So, yeah, I'm passive compared to this guy who... And this is me making a lot of judgments, which is perfect because it rolls into our main topic. But I'm making a lot of assumptions based on this one line where he calls me passive and apologetic just because I'm not like toting the atheism flag. All Christians die. Believe in God is the way to death. Like, I just don't think that way.
You've
And
gone
I'm
soft.
very much. No, yeah, well, no, I'm
You're
just
salty.
I'm no longer the atheist warrior I once was. No, it's just bullshit. So, Chad, if you're out there listening, when you hear this, because you had to make... Never mind, that's too far. Anyways, because you're too busy to listen to this, when you listen to this recorded, buddy, I'm neither passive or apologetic, you little shit. I'm just not a dick about my lack of beliefs.
Gabble.
I allow people to believe in whatever they want because it doesn't actually affect me.
And I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
So if you want to be a douche about somebody's beliefs and sit on your high horse, go right ahead.
But please email us about it. I would love to hear more.
P.S.
Chad, you could be the guy that we always talk about and debate with. Not personally, but after you email us.
Yeah. P.S. Chad, we're right. But you don't need to be a dick about it, right?
When you say we, do you mean like me and you? And are you on my left? If I look this way, am I looking at you?
Yeah, you are. So, yeah.
Do you mean we're right, me and you, or you and him?
Like, he and I are on the right side of the fence.
Oh, okay.
You're right sometimes. But to be fair, this really depends on which van you're driving and which river you're parking next to. So.
It's the nicest river. It's the nicest van. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's perfect.
The least.
Yeah.
Right
So
deal.
Chad, on the real, thanks for emailing in. You aggressive and non-apologetic human being. Email again because obviously rustling my jimmies was fun for Devin, and he will love to see that again.
I would love to see that again.
Okay.
I was
all
like,
right.
when Dwayne's mad, this is gonna be great.
I'm not even mad either. I'm
No,
just
like
like
when you get, like,
perturbed. Yeah.
What? Yeah,
fired up.
pretend.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul. Okay. All right. Let's roll us into the main topic because I think we'll run a little bit long talking about this, but let's go.
Judgment. So we decided that I don't really have like a super like point to get to, and just judgment is always a
So like
popular topic.
always, right? Like you
You
believe
son
in
of a gun.
stuff, no real point to it.
No real point. Hey, there's really no real point here. So judgment. And I think maybe where I got the idea for this is I always hear people say well, it's mostly Christians because atheists don't care, but someone who is like who believes in God or whatever says you can't judge me. You're not God. I don't know if you've heard that before or had anyone say
Absolutely.
that to you.
I say that to people all the time.
You can't judge me. You're not God. They're absolutely correct in the sense that we cannot judge them because
that's actually not true by any stretch of the word.
Seemingly,
I can judge you all
at
fucking
first.
day. I can judge you all day. You can't stop me from judging you.
What you mean by judge is and I think that's what we want to talk to is speak to a little bit of the terminology there. But what we mean when we say judging, what do we mean by that?
Well, you guys mean it by like, at the end of my life, someone tallies up everything I did. No, of course I can't do that. I'm a fucking human being. I'm not a mythical creature. But I'm gonna judge you because you're acting like a punk. Yeah, if I were, I'd turn your ass to stone right now because you're being a punk.
Well, and I like to think of it, and this is more, I guess, probably for my Christian brethren and sisterins, whatever you call my sisters.
So, Chad, tune out.
Chad, you're not going to care a bit about this part.
Come back in 10 minutes.
Maybe not even that long. So when someone says that, when I hear someone say that as a Christian and they're talking to me and whatever it may be, of course, and they say, you can't judge me, you're not God. Well, they're absolutely correct because when God judges, it's rights and wrongs in terms of heaven or hell. Like, yeah, I don't have a say in that. Like, God knows your heart. You know where you're at in your life if you're doing things you shouldn't be doing. But I think when we think of you can't judge me, and Matthew 7 talks about this, about judging someone else, it means like correction. It doesn't mean like I'm saying you're going to heaven or hell. It means I, as also a believer in Christ, am trying to help you see the light or the error in what you're doing. Like, because it's either hurting you or it's hurting someone else or it's just completely contradictory to God. And so I think a lot of people, when they say the whole judgment thing, they think we can't say anything to them about them being wrong in a situation. Now, the Bible talks about, hey, if I, for example, am doing the same thing, like if I've been stealing from someone and I see this other person stealing, then he's like, yeah, you can't really, like, you're doing the same thing. Get rid of your own sin first, and then you can see clearly to help someone else. But if someone's stealing and I say, hey, man, you shouldn't do that. You're taking from other people. And they say, you can't judge me. Well, that's dumb because it's our job as Christians to help other Christians see, like, hey, you're messing up. This is not good for you, not good for spiritual life, not good for anybody who sees you doing this, whoever you're stealing from. And I don't know, I guess that's one point that I had about judging others and people who think that judging is simply just like pointing out their wrongs. Like, we kind of want to help you. And I mean, I don't know if you've heard that on your side. I guess when people say that, it didn't have to be a spiritual thing, right? I mean, have you heard people say that on your side of the fence?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when it comes to judgment in general, and I want to take away the whole end of life judgment, because you can't have that argument with my side of the fence because obviously that doesn't happen for us. Yeah. But when it comes to judgment, whether a spiritual thing or a moral thing, it's very weird. And I don't judge anybody for anything outwardly. But I'm human, and I judge people because I have my own perceptions, and I have my own expectations of morals and how people should act.
Right.
But I definitely do, and I hate to bring up Chad again, and this will be the last time, but he is...
It won't be the last time.
It'll be the last time for this episode for me, personally. He seems and appears to be like the atheist that judges someone based on religion. Just the way that email was written, the verbiage he used when referring to Jewish and Christian... and it's not that he hates them as people, but you can see there's judgment just in his vernacular when he writes. And so most atheists typically judge believers, and I want to say most of the times I don't judge people who believe. I know I do to some degree, right? When you're like, well, God says no vaccines! Tell that to fucking polio, right? That's when I get really judgmental, when you're allowing religion to like fault the human race as a whole. That's when I get judgmental. But other than that, like if you want to believe something, and I think and I say this as a whole, and I think you agree with me on this, like how you don't care for the typical cafeteria Christian. I don't typically care for the stereotypical angry atheist. Like, that gets old. Like, one of the first things people say, like, oh, you're an atheist? Alright, so you hate people who believe in God. Like, no, I don't hate people who believe in God.
He just doesn't believe in God.
I just don't believe in God.
Well,
nothing else comes with that.
Well, there are, though, I think, and I don't know if we talked about this or not, but there are those people who, I think, just like you maybe have been burned by Christians who were so judgmental of like you being atheist, which means you are this or that. I think Christians on the opposite side of the fence have been burned by atheists who are so, like, I call them angry atheists, and they just like want to hurt feelings, like they want to tell you how you're dumb, and I think both sides, like, it's got to stop. Like, that's
there's no reason for that. I'm so with that. It's like it's like we're standing between Captain America and Iron Man, going, "No, guys, don't do it. There's no reason."
Who wins the war again? Because I'm joining that side. I don't care.
Well, it depends on who do you want to be, Christian and atheist, because one side's right.
The winner. That's who's going to be.
So, that's perfect.
Whoever the
all right, wait. I love Iron Man, so I'm going to say Iron Man, right?
Okay.
That defaults to Captain America. When the movie comes out, we'll see. Whoever wins, and we'll discuss it on the show, be like, all right, I lost. And
Did
I'll
you see
pick
the
up a
commercial
Bible.
where he's getting beat the crap out of? I mean, maybe it turns around for him, but...
Iron Man?
Yeah, it's getting slaughtered in the commercial.
Yeah, but he's like fighting multiple people and shit. Like,
no, he's not doing any fighting. He's just taking a beating.
all right, listen. Let's not. We got a guy on steroids versus a guy who fucking built shit. Okay, like if you gave Iron Man the steroids and then he had a suit on top of that because he's a fucking genius.
Be a jacked billionaire.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, and if you watch the last Avengers movie, I couldn't be around Captain America because I'd curse and you'd go language, and then I'd be done for. That guy would just beat me over the head with a shield.
I saw a Deadpool thing that somebody put in of him running next to Captain America. He's like, "See ya, MFer," and he like runs off and he's like, "Language." It's pretty funny.
Dude, speaking of Captain America, Chris Evans is in a movie called Before We Go. It's really good. You haven't watched it? Yeah,
No.
dude. You and your wife will love that movie.
Before I go or we go?
Before We Go.
Wait, did that just come out?
I don't know.
Is it on? Where can I get it? Like Netflix, movie theater?
I don't know.
Where did you apply? Oh, okay, never mind. I know where you got it.
I think it's just released on DVD recently, actually.
I got it. I know what you mean now.
So, yeah, as far as judgment, like, it's just shitty to judge people for anything, whether it's their life, their people. Like, I know somebody in my life right now who is getting back together with somebody who is really bad for them, and I made it very clear to that person. I'm like, look, I don't want to be around who you're getting back with at all. Like, you have now told everybody how bad that person was. No one's gonna support you, okay? Nobody. I'm sorry. No one's gonna support an abusive relationship, and that's judging me. I'm judging, but I just can't help it. And that's just it, man. Like, you have to control it. There are times where it's okay to judge, and it really is, as long as you're not being an asshole about it, because that's really just your own perceptions and morals. It's the same thing with beliefs. If you can keep it internal or polite, everybody's fine, because everybody's going to have an opinion.
But as far as me, so if you're a Christian and your friends who are also Christians, they come to you and they say, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing this, or you shouldn't be doing that," whatever that is for you. Like, don't be mad at them because they come to you, because their correction, not judgment, correction is coming from a place of love, because judgment comes from God alone. Correction comes from love, okay? And so at first you might be mad because we don't like being
Nobody likes criticism.
Yeah, no one likes it. You don't like being the guy that's like, "Oh, I'm in the spotlight for something bad." Like, we get it. Like, that's what happens. But religion and being a Christian is not about being perfect. I think a lot of times atheists and Christians get it wrong. People who like believe in God say, "Man, I got to be perfect before I become a follower." Well, that's not the point at all. Like, you don't get what Jesus came for. He came because we were all sinners.
I expect you all to be perfect and follow that book letter for letter.
That's why people hate us. That's racist. That's spiritualist. I don't know what that would even be called.
I mean,
Is there? I guess
honesty,
just
intelligence. I mean, so many options. So many options.
a hole.
Look, I made my intentions quite clear. My intentions were as clear as a teenager proposing at gunpoint. Okay.
I knew you were gonna try to break that in somewhere today.
And it worked. That's so solid. You tell me that's
You're
not like,
welcome.
yeah, one of the best. I did see something on Reddit because I think the judgment topic ended up being a little weak, but I did see something on Reddit that was really, really solid, and I texted it to my friend, and she actually called me out, like immediately was like, where'd you find that? I'm like, whoa, I love that you assume that I can't come up with something funny, because every now and then I do.
No. Diamond in the rough.
Yeah, but I mean, I totally did read it off Reddit, and it was freaking solid. Listen, dating a girl is like working customer service. What do you need? How can I help? Tell me about your problems. Customer's always right.
You know why she didn't think that was funny?
No, she thought it was hysterical. She just assumed I didn't come up with it.
She assumed right.
Well, yeah, but just this time, I say other stuff that's true.
You better keep a log, man, and then I'm going to search the intranet and look for dates.
Just like put it online somewhere, like put it on our website. I said it here. It's here first. Yep.
No. I always think of Ender's Game, where the brother and sister like want to be politicians, and so his main thing is he wants to come up with like a phrase or something that the whole world can catch on to that's going to make him like this political powerhouse.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nerdum. I think of that.
Like Trump's hair don't care.
Trump's hair. That one's very funny to me.
That one's super solid. He could then he could literally debate, because he's already like talked about his dick and straight up lied to people on stage. I want in one of the debates for someone to be like, and that's why Trump's a bad guy, and that's why this is what Trump believes, and I'm gonna do this, and Trump goes, Trump hair don't care. I whip my hair back and forth,
and just
that's
walks
what
on
I want.
stage and still wins the stage.
He just stays for the next, like, until it ends. He just bashes his head. Singing,
30 minutes
my
left.
Hair back and forth. Yeah, and everybody's like, Trump, no. Trump hair don't care. With my hair back and forth. That's what I want. Because, honestly, this political election, and we brought up politics a lot, but election year, is going to be the funniest one. The saddest one at the same time.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Move to Canada.
Hey, someone brought up a good point to me the other day. They said, was it Snowden? Now, granted, their intent was very different. Snowden leaked top secret government files and emails and all this stuff. He willingly pushed it out, right? Pushed this information out to people who wanted it. Yeah. Top secret, which means it is high risk level of like endangerment to the United States. That's how it's classified.
Sure.
Hillary Clinton also, unbeknownst to her, because she's apparently an idiot, like didn't realize like these are all top secret emails as well. Snowden goes to prison for the release of documents. Hillary Clinton gets a slap on the hand.
Okay, hold on. Here's my counterpoint.
Election aside, why is she not in jail?
Okay, I think, and I'm going to speak to this a little bit without knowing all the details. First of all, there was a scandal involved with her Exchange server, her email server. It was hosted. It was in-house, essentially. Not hosted. It was in-house. Scandal. They requested to see her emails, and she lost them, deleted them, whatever. Now, eventually, somebody found them. I'm pretty sure she didn't release them to the public.
No, that's what I'm saying. She didn't release them, but like somehow they still got out because of her negligence.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, she's a fucking politician, bro. It's not like she's sitting there and going, there's fucking back pressure on the Exchange server. Let me just, I gotta just wrap that up real quick. She's not doing that shit. She just paid the wrong person to protect her shit. Now,
yeah, but how many parents go to jail for negligence? Like negligence doesn't mean like, oh, you didn't know. So
it does when you're famous. Snowden
yeah.
is a fucking nobody NSA worker. Where
now
Hillary
he's famous.
Clinton. I mean, yeah, he's famous now, but Hillary Clinton is like a fucking known figure, man. It's no different than celebrities walking out of jail after beating the shit out of their girlfriends, or NFL players getting caught with pounds of cocaine and walking out the next day. It's all about notoriety, and that's all it is. It's how famous are you, how big of a bust this is going to be, and who can you call when the shit hits the fan. That's
Ghostbusters.
All that comes out. I'm not excited about that new movie. It looks so bad.
I'll give it a shot.
I mean, I'll watch it. I'm not gonna go to the theaters to watch it. It just looks bad. It looks like Bridesmaids meets Ghostbusters.
Yes.
That's exactly what it looks like.
They're like, let's throw some like people who are really funny in it, and it's sure to sell. So I don't know, like when you get like so many good people on a team, like no one stands out.
Yeah, well that and they go for the easy jokes, and the trailer shows it go for the easy jokes, and I'm like, oh.
It's probably going to be like the funniest parts, the ones they show.
Yeah, but I'll watch it. I liked the second Jump Street, so I think we're okay.
Dude, yeah, that one was really good.
You slept with the captain's daughter. God. Every time he says it, that's an ass whooping you're gonna get. You slept with the captain's daughter. Yeah, I love that movie. It was so good. So yeah, man. What else did I have to? Oh. So I'm streaming. I guess we'll do that for a wrap up, but. We are kind of wrapping up here, and we're gonna go over just a couple minutes. But tell people where they can find you, Devin.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram. It's Thunder Arms, all lowercase, and there's a Z at the end of Thunder Arms. And then on, what's the other one? Twitter. I don't use it a whole lot, but I post stuff on there from Instagram. It's Thunder Arms 7. Same ways, lowercase. There's a Z at the end. And I think that's one of the things I use.
Yeah, this
Facebook, but I ain't using. No one's getting that one.
Yeah, that's for the people he knows and likes, not the people you guys. Yeah.
And then you can find. I'll go ahead and give like the email. Here's the thing. Thank you, Chad. Actually, yes, thank you, Chad, for sending us an email and gave us like some content to use. I mean, we would have had content without you, but it was much better because of you. And so we want the rest of you guys to email us questions you have, email us stuff that you want us to talk about.
Questions, comments, feedback.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna
talk about stuff.
And we're gonna
every email we get until we start getting a ridiculous amount of emails, we're gonna mention on the show. Even if you're like, "Hey, love the show," we're gonna be like, "Hey, Stacy wrote in, said love the show. Devin's cute, Dwayne's an asshole, but you make a great pair." Like we're gonna read that shit out loud. I'll have to read that one because it's got a curse word in
curse
it.
Words
but yeah, because Devin's a girl. Look, that's me judging him, and I'm okay with it.
Me too. I love that heart since I was a little girl. All right, but so yeah, and then you can email us at thepastoranatheistshow@gmail.com, or I think if you go to the website, will that take you to our email too, Dwayne? Is that how the link?
No.
Okay, so just hit up the email until Dwayne is the man who will get that done.
No, we're not going to be putting the email on the website. If anything, we'll set up a contact form just to have a quick IT thing. I actually explained this to a client today. When you put your email on a website in a text form, bots go and pick it up, and then they start spamming it. And while we have Google, which is really anti-spam, I'm not even going to risk that.
Okay, good.
I put it in the show notes. That's enough exposure as is to the web being crawled. So please email us, though. We like them. Even you, Chad. Even you, buddy. Even though I made fun of you, I really enjoyed reading your email.
I did too.
I didn't enjoy your replies so much, but your email was great.
Hey, where can they find you, Dwayne?
Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, both of those are Your IT Hero, and that's the possessive your. You can go to the website to get linked to that. In addition to that, now, and I'm going to be streaming pretty regularly. I haven't put the schedule up, but you can find me at twitch.tv/gaming with Gizmo, because Gizmo is my tag, and that's my old streamer platform, so I just went ahead and reused it. So you can find me there. And I actually want to say, the way the division works is people can hear you when you talk, okay? Mm-hmm. So, like, when they're around you. And so
like enemies?
Yes, yeah.
Ooh.
The other players. So when you're in, like, the dark zone and you're, like, you can actually kill other players and take their gear and stuff, they can hear you, right? And so, with that being said, I'm unveiling it here first. I've got 2 new toys.
That's so good. It's so creepy.
So, when
I would do, I would spin in circles just until you showed up. Just spin and spin and spin.
Well, that's the goal, right? So now I can, like, just kind of hide behind cars and shit and drop those 2 things. And I'm going to get more. And I'm going to have other little drops that I can mess with people. Like, I cannot wait to walk up and kill a bunch of people.
Everyone, please, bow your heads and pretend to be serious.
It's going to be so good. Having the ability to send shit like that. I may even blast like Justin Bieber after I kill people. There's so many options, right?
You said there was a lot of nerds in here, Drop?
Dude, do you think I'm gonna get that one off of my list?
There are a lot of nerds in here.
You gotta. That's the first one you have to play. Like, and they're gonna be like, "Ah, this guy's great."
Yeah, and then I always have this.
Greatest video game of all time.
I think the only thing I need to do is
It's fine.
and
Our
So-
good friend
so-
Mike will love
yeah,
that.
to lead us out of it, we're gonna do this.
You haven't thought of the smell, you bitch!
Love you, mean it.
Now that that's settled, we can have a normal conversation.
All right, thanks for listening.
Yeah,
You're the
guys.
best.
Love you, mean it.